was then I just started chewing gum. Second, I pressed record. Fucking brilliant. The thing I find funny is that they're closing all the like police stations,
Yeah.
and the only person on the forum whose picture's not there is the treasurer. So, something's going on here.
Yeah, it's all dwindled away.
Exactly, it's fucking
He's on a
corrupt.
on a Caribbean island with a bottle of Bollinger. Like, waiter.
Gaston,
Yeah.
flip the fingers. Oh, really? No, but I'm looking forward to it. So, hello everyone. Welcome to an episode of Sit Down for Stand Up. I have with me, is it Bristol boy or you just live in Bristol?
Bristol boy, Paul Ford. Yeah.
Bristolian through and through, Paul Ford. Now, first of all, how's it going, Paul, brother? You good, man?
We're good, mate. We're good. As I said to you, recovering from a little operation last week, but we're back in the world of living again, which is good.
Oh, glad to hear, glad to hear. Well, this will probably be one of the easier things to do because you've got to sit there and do fuck all.
Fuck. Oh,
So,
that's right. Yeah.
it's just, I saw Paul for the first time a couple of Mondays ago on the show I'm doing, plug my own show in my show, fucking brilliant. And I fell in love with you straight away, man, to be honest. I loved your material. I thought it was raw. It was edgy, but not to the point of being a prick. Do you know what I mean?
No, I said something like, I said, I make it part of my joke going in, like, I'll try not to commit too many hate crimes. Like I said, it's not hate for what I say. A lot of the stuff I say I like to think it's quite self-deprecating and it's about myself as well. So I leave it out there, like, do you know what I mean? But it's,
Yeah.
no, I don't want to be a prick about nothing, like, do you know what I mean? It's,
And I don't think you came across at all like being a prick. I think if anyone, there's people out there, and I'll call them dickheads, who will try and find trouble in anything they sort of look into. And personally, comedy's not for them, and they're going to find a hard reality when they, go further and further into it. And it shows the success because off camera we're doing quick elevation, aren't we, in this game? So well done on that.
yeah, nice.
So I'll humble you now. With the normal basic bitch questions. How and why and when did we get into comedy?
I got into comedy. Like I said, going back about 6 months ago, I saw it was one of those ultra ads. Like I said, do you want to do it? I've always fancied myself as a bit of a joker, sort of a bit of a. I've always acted the fool, so to speak, if you want to put it like that. Do you know what I mean? And being it for charity, a pal of mine, his little boy's autistic, and he'd just run the half marathon, like running for his little boy, like and raising money for his charity. So I thought, oh, do you know what? I'll raise some money for a little Reg too, like, do you know what I mean? And he was like, yeah, brilliant. So that's how we kind of got into it, and started going to the went into they call them the classes, which it ended up just being like get some material, get on stage, and just jump straight into the mix sort of thing, which is probably the best way of doing it. Do you know what I mean?
What did they teach you in the class?
Do you know what it was? For me, it wasn't necessarily about material. Like I said, I'm forever talking shit anyway. Do you know what I mean?
Sorry.
Which is it is just what it is. It was the getting on stage and managing that sort of stagecraft and operating that space.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's it's probably why I get bored very easily doing things. Do you know what I mean? I've played. I was always Paul, a rugby player, right? I've done well in business. I've always earned myself a good cut of quid. And then when I lost my rugby through injury a couple of years ago, I've kind of like been out in the wilderness trying to do something. I took up acting for a bit, and one of the things I did a short film that got put into a film festival, and I won an acting award at the first drop. So then all of a sudden, I completed that, on to the next thing, and
Right.
then I've written a book, and now that's been like it's all looks nice and polished, and it's in a nice hardback and things like that. I haven't bothered carrying on doing that, and then the comedy thing set in, and I can't get enough of it because it's the only thing that's truly ever frightened me.
Okay, that's fun. So, like, is it more of a different dopamine hit to what
Mate,
you've had before?
I've been in, like I said, I've been in scraps. I've been, out and about, pissed up, getting fighting things like that. And you put yourself in precarious situations, right? Being on stage, you could be Mike Tyson or you could be like a 6-year-old boy. It doesn't matter how hard or big or nasty you are. You're up there on your own. If you ain't funny, you ain't getting laughed at. It's frightening, and that is that's a thrill to chase. Genuinely, I feel like. Do you know what I mean? And to the point where, like I said, I used to go on stage staking, shaking,
Yeah.
sorry, and my first joke would be like, I'll try and do my best Michael J. Fox impression now. Let's have a look and see it. Do you know what I mean? And and I'd have to take a propanol to bring my nerves down because I was so bad. And it's a daunting place, but again, it's a thrill that I want to keep going after because each crowd's different, and it's you could have a working man's crowd over in Cardiff that would thrive off my sort of comedy, and then one that I think it went a lot better for other people. In my head I thought it went terribly, but it went really well. It was a real young crowd down at a music festival down in Bournemouth, and a real sort of like a wokey crowd. Yeah, I thought, oh, this was terrible. I bombed, but I didn't watching it back. But again, the style of crowd is it like so we spoke before. It make you or break you, really, like, if you let it.
100%. So with I'll ask that one in a second. Then. So what sort of type of comedy do you usually do? What sort of subjects and stuff are you like? Also, you like deadpan, one-liner, observationalist, storyteller?
Oh, I go in. Let's call a spade a spade. I try and upset as many people as I can whilst making them laugh at the same time. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I ain't afraid of saying the thing. Everyone wants to say something. Everyone can have things in their head where they wish they could say it. I'm the person that would just go, yeah, fuck it. I'm going to say it out loud. Do you know what I mean? And that's it. It isn't hateful in any shape or form. A lot of the stuff I do being like it's very self-deprecating, talking down about myself. Do you know what I mean? But again, if I can't do that, then no one else can either. And I love that sort of things.
Okay. I love that. But do you think there's any topics that should never be spoken about in comedy, or do you think as long as you can find the funny, anything's fair game?
You know what? Within reason, yeah, everything's fair game. It's you can pull a joke out of anything. Do you know what I mean? Fuck me. What did Ricky Gervais say is like doing a fart at a baby's funeral. I mean, you can't get a much more worse situation than a baby's funeral, can you? Do you know what I mean? And it's a deadpan serious thing. It was not any particular baby, but that is what it is. It's you can pull humor out of anything. I got no problem talking. Whether again, never hateful, but I will pick it a subject matter. Whether you're Christian, Muslim, Jewish, gay, straight, transsexual, you're all targets as far as I'm concerned. So if you're picking on everyone, nobody can feel singled out.
I 100 commend. I think the most important thing though is that it is funny.
Yeah, like I said,
that's the bottom line.
I'm not going on there doing a Nuremberg speech like Hitler.
Yeah.
Let's stamp out that particular race of people. No, not at all. It is just a case of I'm going to make you laugh, and I think the best way of making people laugh, and I've started doing it, is I do chuckle to myself on stage when I've dropped a little banger because it's like, because I'm like, this is mint. This is fucking, I can't believe I just said it myself. Like, do you know what I mean? And when other people are laughing, it's qualified there straight away. Like, it's
Man's therapy comedy.
Even one of my favorite ones, I say about, there's a joke and I say about a girl, a sort of woman got a fanny like a paper cut, right? Right now, there was a group of young girls in that stage, and I could hear them on the in the audience. They tried to stifle their laugh until the last second, and then they all squeaked and burst out laughing at the same time on that one there. Because again, they didn't want to be shown that they were laughing at it, but they couldn't fucking help it because they knew.
Well, I can't remember who said it, but Kimberly reinforced it last night to me. A gasp is just as good as a chuckle.
Yeah. Yes.
And, yeah, I love that. So doing your type of comedy and being fairly, new 6 months in, do you think you should play every room, or do you think there are some rooms you should avoid?
No, do you know what? I put myself forward to play a gay club over in Gold Cross in Cardiff a little while ago. And the guy went, do you know what? I love your stuff. I'm not quite sure. How would you kind of tailor it? How would you tailor your comedy to suit this crowd? I said, again, I can give a fuck if you're gay or straight. And like I said, I would change my, talking about one of the things we'll talk about pornography. And I say about, you need a bit of cock in every porno sort of thing, right?
Yeah, see. The thing is, though, okay, this weird. I find a lot of your stuff relatable. Like it's funny, and then I'm thinking of shit that I've not thought about before in different angles.
Yeah, and the thing is, to that gay crowd, I wrote, like I said, he asked me to just quickly write a joke, and I said, you know what? Yeah, who's this guy talking about cocks this and cocks that? This straight guy, and a while ago, do you know what? in my 25 years playing rugby, I seen more fucking cocks in every fucking change room I played in, you know, than any of you closet little fuckers have in your whole fucking life. So take your faces for a shit, shut the fuck up and let me crack on. Do you know what I mean? And he was like, fucking that'll do us, not joking.
Oh, I love that. I love that. Hey, I've only got. I have a bit of a gay set in my joke that I'm quite proud of. It's starts off with is anyone in the room gay? Oh, so easy. So it's so cheap. Oh, thanks for coming out. So easy, and but it's one of the ones I love doing at the moment. Is proper shock value. You know what? I'm against gay marriage. Pause. Let them sit on that for about 2 seconds. Let them
Yeah.
hate me. I'll tell you for why. When a man and a woman get married, a woman's workload increases by 6 hours a week. A man's decreases by an hour a week. That's why gay guys always look fantastic. They've got all the extra time to do their hair, time to go to the gym. It's not fair. It's a biased market. Balls. Do you know what, in fact? If I sucked enough dick, I might be able to get myself a girlfriend. Love it. They love that bit. And then follow it up by, do you know what? I did this joke the other day. Still doing the bit. Did this joke the other day. And a gay guy fucking slammed his chair, stood up, he called me a cunt, and he left. Now, that didn't bother me because he knows nothing about cunts. If he called me a dick, I would have taken it personally. But, you know, that's my gay joke. Like, love it. Love it. I love misdirections.
Proper.
It's
proper. But that's the thing. Whether people expect, I'd like to go. I like going into a room where, you know, where they're not expecting you to play. I mean, my style of person. Do you know what I mean? Like I said, I have a particular kind of presence. I'm 6 foot, 6'1", 20 stone. Do you know what I mean? You know, just I like that. I'm a proper looking bloke. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. The nature in which I speak is directed in a certain way. And like I said, I don't care whether you're gay, straight, trans, fucking women's refuge. Do you know what I mean? We'll get a laugh out of you somewhere along the way. Right?
Yeah, and also I think if you get offended over comedy, your life is on easy mode. If that's all you've got to worry about, then I'll switch problems with you any day. To be honest.
Oh, but you know what? Again, I don't even think they get offended by it. They feel that they can be that voice, that one person is gonna. You know, he's not afraid to say these jokes, but I'm not afraid to stand up for the, you know, for the marginalized community that he's talking about, sort of thing. Do you know what I mean? It's like, fuck off. You're fucking.
The best thing to do on that is to take. What's the thing? You know, to take away their ammunition before they get a chance to use it. So I've started incorporating this, and you're welcome to adapt it to your own style. So I do a Muslim joke, Sharia law joke, and I pause before I say it. I say, okay, before I do my Muslim joke, I'm going to take a quick look around the room. Not for any Muslims, but for white women in their 30s who want to get offended on their behalf. And then they can't get offended because then they're like, wait, I have that problem. And it's so beautiful to take away their ammunition and then watch their faces stewing, but they can't say anything.
Honestly, do you know that's part anyone that moans in the crowd? What I've had a couple of I've had one stand up and give it the old, I am not listening to this shit, right? And then gave her boyfriend the tug on the arm to say, are you going to say something? And I made the crowd, that was one of my best laughs of the whole night, because again, my one line for anyone that has a moan is, please take your face for a shit and fuck off. Yeah. Please, just go. And when she tugged her boyfriend's arm, I said, you need to shut her up. And if you want to wait for me outside after and we can have a civilized chat, you can do. But I would suggest you take her home and get her a bag of chips. And it just fucking cuts it. Anyway, back to the show. It completely ignored them. I said I haven't had too many hecklers or things like that. But like the way I carry myself, I find kind of like it's the fuck off and ignore straight away sort of thing to kind of put it to bed.
Right. Once again, I would love to see you do disarming them. So if you can sense they're about to stand up and do it, be like, oh look, a standing ovation already.
Simple though, isn't it?
They can't say that. Yeah, it's taken away their minuscule power. So
you've killed them with kindness there, haven't you? That's it.
It's beautiful. So I completely agree. You should play every single room going. I believe there should be a cost benefit analysis to play in every room, because it can get time and it can get expensive, on the early stages in comedy to sort of do every room.
Oh, do you know what? I mean, you say every room. The ones that say this must be a family friendly set is like a quick. We can bang those straight off the list straight away. Do you know what I mean? But yeah. Luckily, I do a job which allows me to work from a mobile phone anywhere in the country. So I was told when getting into this game, the people that I've got no aspirations. I'd like to do as much as possible, play as big a stage as possible. It was a real thing when I got to play the comedy box at a Hen and Chicken in Bristol. Right, I know how many sort of decent comedians have played that one. That was a real sort of buzz for me to do that one there. Again, to do a stage down at a music festival, fantastic. Because I'm in a privileged enough position to be able to do that and earn my money wherever I go. I'm able to do that. It's people that are kind of stuck to a 9 to 5 that don't have the opportunity to travel to do it. Kind of they get locked around, and I find it is it's not so hard for people like me. But I'm that 1 in 100 that gets to do it. Do you know what I mean? I don't have rich parents to fund a comedy career or anything like that. But I'm able to I can fund my own lifestyle.
People will throw that as privilege and stuff, but I couldn't disagree more. Like I hate bringing it back to me always, but I'm in the same situation. I worked hard all my life. I've sold my businesses. I now make a living out of doing comedy. Like,
Fantastic.
but that's not privilege. That's doing the pre-graft. You've earned your scars before you even got onto the
Yeah, true.
battlefield.
Yeah, I'd accept that. I'd accept that.
So what you've worked hard all your life to now, fund your passion. So there's no shame on that. How do you find 6 months? Whereabouts have we gigged so far?
Dead on. I've said yes to everywhere. Like I said, I've gone across into South Wales. I've gone as south as Bournemouth. Stretched over to London a couple of times. Just some like little pub open mic sort of thing. My next one is I want to go up north and I've just put my name down for the hot water on one of their open mic nights.
Yeah.
Again, it's just like sort of landmark sort of places that I can say I've done a gig in there.
Right.
If I got stopped tomorrow doing it, and I could say, well, I played there, there, and there, it goes in the memoir sort of thing. Do you know what I mean?
Right. I mean, you got to do Comedy Store's Gong Show.
Comedy Store one, yeah, it does. I can imagine it's quite a brutal one, isn't it?
That was my first ever gig.
Is that right?
Yeah, my first ever gig in front of 300 people. Never been on stage before. That was my first ever one.
Nice.
And it went shit, like a minute 23. But I was like, you know what? This is a bit of me.
You didn't just dip your toes in the water. That's jump in the deep end and just go for it, innit?
No, that was just bollocks in alone. Like,
And that was
none of the body, just like hand gliding my balls in ice and water.
And other than the little open mics I did before, my first proper gig was that comedy box in Bristol doing the Spirit of Comedy one, the Ricky Gervais one.
How'd that go?
I got told halfway through that whilst we would like to put you through, your comedy isn't in fitting with the brand. So I got put forth.
Yeah, I mean, with them competitions, I think they can be a great gateway, fast track, but it depends what type of comedian you want to be. Personally, I'm not a fan of them comedy competitions. I think they are quite box ticky.
It was. Do you know what? You'll go back to that term you used earlier on. A lot of the guys that went through, they went rather generic with it. I think I got told by someone else in the crowd that they had like what they call them, like I'm not going to say a booking agent sort of thing. They said they do this and you act like a promoter, sorry, right? And he said your comedy was brilliant. If you'd have left the names out, like when I talk about Jessica Chapman and Holly Wells and the McCanns, if you'd have left the names out and left it a little less personal, I said, yeah, but that kind of takes away the joke. Then I can't just because it's like you
can't be like a neglected parent's child or a bad nurse or a well-known serial killer that rhymes with dual snots.
Like I said, and can't do that. What I won't do, as I said, I won't compromise. I said it's a tough word for me to use anyway, like the word sorry is. Do you know what I mean? I just don't like using it, but I won't compromise anything like that. If it didn't suit it, it didn't suit it. It's not much. I give a fuck.
The only way I would challenge that is if it was because I've completely realised my thoughts and punch it down. But if you was like, if it was like a taboo subject, not taboo, but like if it was like a kid with cancer, my brother's kid cancer, Callum. Then it's like we don't need a name.
No.
If they're a serial killer, if they're
going too
fucked up,
personal,
then name
do you know what I
drop.
mean? Yeah, you're going too personal. But when it's like I said, it's picking that subject material where it's offensive enough without being hateful or actually affecting someone's life in the now. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, who's gonna say, oh no, you can't punch down at serial killers? They're people too, Paul. God damn
It's
it.
fucking sausages, isn't they, that say it? Do you know what I mean? But it's like,
So how do you go about writing a joke then? What is your joke writing process?
I think I'm fucking weird anyway. Yeah, no, again, it's being in that sort of that rugby changing room environment where you got it's again you can relate to this. It's a amongst your inner circle of friends, it's kill or be killed. And if you, like I said, when you're taking batterings on a WhatsApp group on a daily basis towards each
Yeah,
other, and you got to be quick off the mark, you either
yeah,
ignore it or you jump in both feet and you fucking go for it. And you got to be, and that really helps a lot. I mean, I drive around a hell of a lot in the daytimes. And I've always got my notebook with me. And without sounding like a fucking nerd, like I said, I will just stop sometimes and I go, fucking right, I've got to write that down now. Do you know what I mean?
stop, yeah. Audible on the phone straight away.
Sorry?
I say stop, open quotation. I was audible on the phone. I record that shit button there, shout at it. I was bombing 90.
Yeah, mate. Honestly, it's yeah. My brain is just one of those. I can't stop thinking. Whether we're all on the spectrum somewhere. Do you know what I mean?
100%.
And my one is I just do not stop. It's um, I've been called sometimes. Oh, he's gone fucking Kanye West again. Because one minute I'm doing this, the next thing I'm doing that, and then I'm doing three things all at once, and I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And if I fail fast, and I move on to the next thing. I'm one of those people that if I will fucking win whatever I have to, whatever I've got to do to win within reason, I will win. Do you know what I mean?
Winner's mentality.
Yeah, and by win I mean I'll succeed there. And like I said, I would say when I first said to I haven't. There's some people I still haven't told. If they don't already know, I haven't told that I do stand-up comedy because I can't be asked with the, oh, what are you doing that shit for? Do you know what I mean? Because I just get on with my own life and do my thing. I didn't tell people I wrote a book because I didn't want to be told. I didn't want to be, like, oh, you fucking, are you serious? You can't write a book. So I do these things for personal gain and personal. My missus thought I was cheating on her.
Uh,
When I was sat there tapping on my phone all day, every day for months and months, right? Thinking I'm texting, and I was writing a book on my iPhone. Do you know what I mean?
Brilliant.
Because I just sit there and I just tap away and I do things. Like I said, my brain does stray off into little things, and yeah, it's I'm glad I've got one of those brains.
Yeah.
I've I've been given sometimes I can't sleep, and again through my leg, like when I smashed my leg to pieces, I was given these like the neuropathic painkillers and things like that, and they just shut you off. And I thought, you know what, I'd rather have the pain and have my brain ticking over still.
That's why I quit weed because, yeah, you need the creativity process. So when you think of something, it's always when you're driving or like 3 o'clock in the morning, it always is. And then you write it down. Will you then turn it into a script or do you just keep like the premise, punchline, like the little
Oh no, I
nuggets?
can't. I write. So I do like a mind map when I write when in my
Okay,
notebook. I've
cool.
got so it's never scripted because what I don't want it to do, I don't want it to sound. I always want so that that set that you heard, and the ones you might have seen some of the clips online. It's the material is the base material is the same as what I started with, and it
Yeah.
changes every single time because
Okay.
it's never scripted. I might write three words and go like Peter Sutcliffe, Hitler, Stalin. Boom, I know what that one is then. But the wording on that sentence changes every time.
Mm.
Um, the bit where I saw I took my kids up to Rochdale to see me Muslim mates. Bang,
Love
changes
that
every
joke.
single
Love
time.
that joke.
Premise is still exactly the same, and I could do 100 gigs and 100 towns and 100 clubs and have that same set, and no one will hear the
Same.
same version of that, which is great. And which is why bigger comedians they have that they can use their same set for 2 years and reshuffle it
Mm.
and make it sound different every time, can't they?
No, I can never do that personally. I'm a script writer, but what I do is I write it out and then I close it and then I put dictaphone on the dictaphone,
Yeah,
not
yeah, yeah.
dictaphone, and then I try and say it back and see how close I was. It'll never be the same, but as long as I know I'm hitting everything along the way. But every comedian writes differently, and that's the beautiful thing about comedy. There's no right or wrong way to do anything.
No, not. And like, this is why I play it back on YouTube in the car, because it then becomes like I'm singing a song alongside it, and I'm wording. I don't necessarily do it out loud, but I'm wording along to myself in the car, and
Okay.
which is a strange thing to hear yourself speaking in the third person sense whilst you're not actually doing it yourself. But
Oh,
again,
heckling yourself.
but it works to the fact that it then becomes second nature. I could get a phone call now, say, oh, well, there's a pub needs a comedian now. Can you just come and do a 10 minute? It's like, yeah, bang, quick propanol down the neck, half a Stella, and we're away we go. Do you know what I mean?
One I was always taught, and it was probably one of the most tangible bits of advice I've ever given. Um, when you record your sets, first time you watch it back, do it with no audio and just watch your body movement. And to me, that was complete advice. I 100 because do you know what I mean? I'd start wanking off the microphone for some reason. Do you know what I mean? I'd rearrange the stage 20 fucking times in a 10-minute set. Like, yeah.
And that was a comedian that took us for our ultra course, a guy called Greg Winfield.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah.
Really good guy, really experienced, like, and really cool in the way he taught. But that was one of the first things he taught, was about how to set up your stage. Now, some people have the stand in front of you, some people move it to one side and walk, and then they, and different ways of holding the mic, and that made perfect sense to me. And it's, again, I walk on stage, mic stand to the side so I don't trip it up, and if you notice my feet, my little tick on stage, I'm forever kicking the cable. That's it. When I'm walking around, I'm not always having eye contact with the crowd, same as a lot of guys do. But I'm kicking that cable, and I know that helps with right onto the next one, onto the next one, onto the next one. I can see my timing coming from kicking that cable around. Do you know what I mean?
Okay, so what would you use it as a timestamp almost?
So, yeah. Like, I know, like,
Okay, that's smart. That's smart. I like that idea.
Again, that might not work for another 1,000 people, but for
No.
me, and the way I learn, and the way I get I know the jokes coming out is one joke kick, next joke kick, and I know I'm ticking it off as we go along.
I might steal that, but do it with drinking my beer.
So take a
So I'm
sip
doing
every
that
time you
quite
finish.
sporadically at the moment, like between like segues, sip a beer. That's clever. That's one thing I love about doing this podcast is that you're learning non-stop, and no one is the finished article.
Never.
And everyone truly does sort of have time to learn. So I know you said to me, off thing, you did a gong show. How did that go?
Do you know what? I got through the 2 minutes. Very, very. I don't like to. Again, I'm going to say it. Very lefty sort of woke sort of crowd.
Yeah,
A few oohs, a few ahs, but again, stifled laughing means they're still laughing.
yeah,
So,
100%.
and that's again, that's better than somebody who's just out and out laughing, because again, they want to fit in with their friends, but they're still fucking laughing at it.
And yeah, like I say, that is the main thing. And yeah, gong shows are a different. You can't benchmark your comedy skills on gong shows, but they are the gladiatorial arena.
Yeah.
So I love them. Okay, I like this one then. So if you're doing a while now, what do you get out of comedy, and what does the comedy world get out of having you in it?
What do I get out of comedy? It's a new buzz for me. It is, like I said, I will not drink. I will not do drugs. I will not do anything before a fucking show. I know that for sure, because I don't need any other kind of chemical running around my body whilst I'm doing that. The adrenaline, even like I said, taking a calm down tablet, I'm still rushing off my tits when I go onto that stage. And then before I get there, I can't. It's like I've boxed a couple of times. Do you know what I mean? I've boxed in front of I've been to a couple of big crowds. Do you know what I mean? And I'm sat there. I've played in front of some big crowds, and you're kind of like in your own little moment. You're sat there tapping away, tapping your hands, and that's what I was like before my last show. And the minute my name was called, I was up, bang, done. I'm on stage, and it was like the lights have been turned on. All of that had gone away, and what I get out of it is just that. Do you know what? It's an ego thing as well. It's a massive ego thing. I want to hear people laugh at what I'm saying. I want people to like what I'm saying. I want people to like me. That is, it's to be qualified. I don't care about saying that. It is a huge wanting to be wanted, wanting to be liked is what all of us humans want, isn't it? At the end of the day, adoration and admiration.
Yeah, completely agree. So what does the comedy world get out of you being in it?
Again, as with all of the chaps, saying things that are people ain't. I'm not afraid to say any of it. I don't care. And like I said, is it's for you to say to me, I don't like it. It's when I go on stage, 9 times out of 10 there'll be a warning before. If you get offended easily, you're best off leaving now and going to the toilet. Do you know what I mean? If you don't get up and leave, that's your problem, not mine. Do you know what I mean? That's what the comedy world gets at me. Like I said, is I do get a laugh. I make people laugh at what they feel they shouldn't be laughing at as well. Do you know what I mean? And pull them out of themselves. And that's what I want.
And yeah, I 100 agree, 100 commend that as well. People don't know what they'll find funny until they hear it. And yeah, like I said, getting them girls to do the chuckle, then burst out laughing, something that they probably were like, oh, should we laugh at this? Should we laugh at this? And then they can't control it anymore. That is a beautiful moment that, yeah, comedy well needs more. And they're not just playing safe, not just doing like the low hanging fruit, the easy generic jokes. We need people still to push boundaries, but in a comical, non hateful way.
Yeah, yeah. Like I said, it ain't about being nasty to anyone. Like I said, I'd rather take the piss out of myself than any other person in the world. But if I'm happy to do it to myself, that means none of you are safe. That's how it's got to go.
Yeah, I'll go for my self deprecation first, and then it's your guys' turn, to be
Yeah.
honest. You're at a comedy night. What do you expect?
Oh, I mean,
Like,
I said to one girl the other week. She'd come up to me and she bumped into me before the thing, and she said, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't realize my hand hit you." Then I went, "Well, what are you doing?" She went, "Oh, I've had a stroke." I went, "Oh, so sorry to hear that." But hey, during the thing, I seen her. I went, "Oh, this woman come up to me and said she'd had a stroke before the show tonight." And I thought that's a weird time to finger yourself, but each to their own. Sort of thing.
oh, I love that. Well, yeah, and as I like the fact that you set the tone from the offset. Like sometimes people like build up to it, go riskier, riskier. But if you do it from the beginning, you're sort of like, you're setting the level, setting the bar, and saying, right, well, this is it now. Like tuck in, like
Yeah,
put your
well, like I said,
seatbelts on.
I used to start off with a couple of with a couple of shit, a couple of old but gold ones to warm you up, sort of thing. Do you know what I mean? Went out, went out for a date the other night, and took this girl out, and we met online. She ended up being Jewish. When I asked her for a number, she got really pissy and said, "My people have names now." Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's like, but that kind of felt shit in the end, which is why I ended up coming up with the old Jimmy Savile, giving me a platform to speak publicly is like giving Jimmy Savile the keys to that children's ward. It's a fucking error, and that I think that takes you 0 to 100 a lot better than like some shitty little oldie sort of joke.
yeah. I've got one Jimmy Savile joke. I've never done it on stage, but funny enough, I met Jimmy Savile when I was a kid. Yeah, true story. And that is a true story, but now the rest of this is the joke. Um, and after the show, he took me, backstage. He took me into his dressing room. He sat me down and he went to me. I think we should just be friends. I love it. I love that joke. I've never done it on stage because it's never like filled into like what I talk about. But yeah,
Oh, yeah. Do you know what though? Again, it's fucking that tickles you, doesn't it? That sort of thing tickles you because people know what it's about. Like I said, and it will be forever current as well.
yeah. What do you think the difference is between bar humor, WhatsApp, pissing with your mates, and then doing it on the stage?
Difference is being, like I said, is the laughs you have with your friends. You're friends with these people for a very because they're you in a different case and effectively, yeah. That's those sort of it's for me anyway. All my mates in our little WhatsApp groups, we're all from the rugby club. We're all the same person, family without being family, sort of thing. And it's been able to translate that into something that the 100 people that are sat in front of you, hoping that they find you funny, and you want them to find you funny. It's been able to translate that humor into something else. And like I said, but that's got to come through you, not just the joke you're telling. Somebody else could tell my jokes, and it will come across completely fucking different. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, I went 100. I went to a gong show a couple of weeks back. I've spoken about this on the last couple of pods, so I'll stop mentioning it after this one. And there was a guy there, and he did a 5 minute set from one of Ryan Long's specials, and it was word for word.
Wow.
And I didn't call him out on it, and that's pissed me off ever since. The fact that I didn't speak to him after the show and be like, "Look, mate, You've got to drop that. I know you've stole it. You've got to drop it. Do you think we should be calling out joke thieves?
Well, I had this the other day. I'm doing a gig tomorrow night in Clevedon, Bristol, and the guy that's doing it, he does I think he does like a comedy magic show as well. And
Okay.
he said, "Oh, can you send me some material just so I can gauge whether when yeah." So I sent him over a couple of clips, and I said, "You get those?" He went, "Yeah, love that, mate, loved it." He said, "I'm going to pinch a few of those and use on my own set if that's right with you." I was
Fuck
like,
off.
"You
He
fucking
said
serious?"
that.
Like, he actually messaged me back saying that. I was like, "You taking a piss?" Like, and I texted him saying, "I'm going to fucking screenshot this just in case someone comes to me and says, 'Oh, why are you using so and so's jokes?'" I said, "You're mental, ain't you?"
No, that's mad.
But to actually say that, he goes, "Oh, I'm going to use a couple of yours there." Like, do you know what I mean? It's like, you fuck.
Fuck off. That is.
Talk about sticking your out. Like I said, I ain't going to go too mad because I said I want
I'd give
stage
him a
time, right? So
slap.
I'm jumping on his stage tomorrow night, and I'll own his stage, yeah, right.
Yeah.
But at the same time, that's like sticking your hand in another man's pocket to me. Do you
Yeah.
know what I mean?
But that's even. Okay, one, that's bad enough. But two, oh, mate, do you mind if I quickly put my hand in your pocket?
Yeah, telling you he's going to do it as well. It's just like I thought it was necky as fuck. But again, I took it two ways. One, you love my fucking joke. That's brilliant, yeah. But two, you're fucking thief at the same
Yeah.
time.
I mean, uh, and the annoying. Yeah, oh, that's pissed me off a little bit because we're at a level right now where they will say who did it first.
Yeah.
Where if I was like, oh, I went to go get the milk, and all of a sudden I was out, oh, and now I'm out. I can never in a million years say, oh, I thought of that
No, of course you
because
can.
it's 100% obviously stolen. But like, ah, oh yeah, no, that's yeah, riled me a little bit.
It don't
So
know. It spun my head a little bit when he said it, and I was like, "That's why I text back going, you taking a piss or not, mate?" Like, do you know what I mean?
yeah,
And he's like, "Oh no, it's we're very similar in what we do, so it'll work." I was like, "No, no, no, no,
fuck,
but that's
yeah,
my joke though."
yeah. I fucking shoved the magic deck up your arse, you prick. Fuck off. No. Yeah, yeah. I'll be interested to know if he does actually do any of your material.
Well, like I said, is again same as the places. The comedy circuit in Bristol is not huge yet, so it'll soon come round. And I said my jokes are of a particular brand, so you know if you'd fucking heard them or not. So
Yeah, fair enough. But that's interesting, actually. Yeah, do let me know on that. Actually, like, I'm not being a grass or anything, but I do know a lot of promoters in Bristol, so like that shit should be slapped down in seconds. Like,
yeah, no, like I said, it was. I didn't cry about it too much, like I said, because I'm jumping on his stage, like I said, tomorrow night, and for me at the minute, I want as much stage time as possible, right?
yeah, I get
So
that.
that's that, right? But it was like taking with one hand and giving with the other sort of thing. I thought, oh, you know what, yeah. But he was told like, are you taking the piss, Mux? Like, I mean, it's like,
Mm,
you serious here? Like, that's
yeah, yeah, fuck that. Okay, go on. We'll bring a bit more sunshine back to this. Actually, no, we're not. We'll go more gloom. What's the worst thing you've seen someone do on stage so far? Not yourself. You've seen someone do on stage.
the
You're like,
worst.
you
You
know
know
what?
what? It was
Fuck.
it was at the ultra event that I did, and there was a guy that we went through the whole sort of 8 week process. He never turned up once, but he sold some tickets, so they let him perform anyway.
Yeah,
I think he sold 40 tickets, so he'd raised enough money to do his thing. Sort of I mean,
yeah.
and he turned up on his little fishing hat. He had the word cunt
Yep.
on his t-shirt. He had cunt.
Mhm.
And then he went on stage and just went, my mum's a cunt. She's the biggest cunt in the world. And like, he just went on for 5 minutes about how much of a cunt his mum was.
Mm.
Like, it was like a therapy session. And it was like, he got booed off after about 90 seconds. And then Greg had to come on and say, look, come on, time for you to go.
Yeah, absolutely dead dog shit. I mean, one thing I got taught was swearing. Perfectly fine to swear in your set, 100. But I feel like you need to build up the words because if you say the word "cunt" from the offset, you've
I'm
lost
not,
all power. It's
you know,
lost all
I
effectiveness.
used it for the first time in that Cardiff gig, right? Yeah. And I didn't even realize I'd said it because I'd always said to myself, I don't need to say it.
No.
I say it 50 times a day when I'm out and about, but I don't feel it's massively necessary when you're doing a set.
Swear words can be, like I said, they can be used as ammunition, but I think you've got to build yourself up to them. Like I swear in my set, but I will never will for the first 3-4 minutes.
Yeah.
But then I'll use them as this proper self-deprecating moment. Like, it's like normally it's like, gee, he was taking the fucking piss, wasn't he? Like, do you know what I mean? They can be used poetically.
Yeah,
But
of
if
course.
it's from the offset, it's pointless.
Again, even the word "fucking" can be said in an endearing way, right?
That's just being a Brit, isn't it?
It is.
Like,
But like you said, the C word is a strong one to drop in there, just like, within 20 seconds. It's like, where did that one come from?
remember the first time you ever used that word?
The first time I ever used, what? It's just in general?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. You've got to be coming towards the end of primary school, or or really, it's everyone it was like the biggest playground word in the world, wasn't it? Though, do you know what I mean?
I remember I never really knew what the word meant. And I think I must have been like 10 or 11. And my mum gave me a jar to open. And I was like, oh, that's a tight cunt. She hit me. So don't ever use that word. I was like, no, not thinking like, it's like, like the mecca of fucking swear words.
Yeah, you've hit the pinnacle straight away, haven't you? Do you know what I mean?
So, I've always had a relation to that. Okay, what's one joke, that you've written or wrote, past pretense, brilliant, and at the time you thought was brilliant, and now you look back and you think, why the hell did I think that was funny?
Oh, it's that one where I say about we got any football fans in tonight, and it's trying to incorporate the bit of crowd work, and well, all my family's City fans, at the Reds, at the Robins sort of thing. I'm a Rovers fan, me. I was born blue. The only other member of my family I know was born blue was the premature baby me had a couple of years ago. And it's like
brilliant.
But then I go into that. I get. You know what, it's a mixed bag with that one there, because then I go into, all seriously now, he never made it. And any parent has ever been through that and know that pain all too well. And it's horrendous. Kids really are the gifts that keep on giving, and living up to that accolade. He did, because we managed to keep him alive long enough to add him to our universal credit claim, but not long enough so we had to register the death. So he's been given since the day he was born, that little fucker. And it's like, it's one that I cringe at myself, like, now and again, man. It's like, I
like that joke. I like it.
You know what? It's there and it's in the notebook, right? If I'm feeling desperate enough to use it because I want to fuck it, I want to really put a knife into a crowd, I'll use it. But that's a delve into the bag job, that one for me.
I like that joke, honestly. I think once again, I said I think it's smart, it's creative, and it comes out of nowhere. If that's the worst joke you've ever written, then fuck me.
I say the worst. I just think it's all right. I'm going to say it's the bottom drawer for me. Then that one there, like, do you know what I mean? Because that it does have life experience for me. That one there, it is. But again, it's life experience is something you can draw on, you can feel on, but you can take humor from it. And like I said, and not being afraid to take a swipe at that and turn tragedy into a joke is what we do at the end of the day.
100%. And like, I know some people be, like soft if they've had miscarriages or, stillborns or things like that. But what they've got to realise, it's not about them.
No.
If you were like, and I can't think it was Ricky Joe said, if you were like, right, okay, I got a cancer joke here. Who in the room's got cancer? You? What's your name? Louise. Louise, this joke is about you. Then look, fair play. Do you know what I mean? Fair play. You should get lynched. But you're not targeting anyone. It's just dark humour crafted well.
Yeah. Of course. Yeah, but look, it is, and like I said, there's ones. Oh, what's the other one? Which is a little bit. It's I had such a shit life. My first experience of getting cheated on in a relationship was when my physics teacher notched another kid in another class. Is again, they're bottom drawer, but they're quick, punchy, like little ones that
why the physics teacher?
Why not? Very specific.
This is me going to thought process now. Why not the PE teacher? Why not the biology teacher?
Yeah, do you know why the physics teacher?
Yeah.
Because drawing from it, my physics teacher, Mr. Chambers, actually got done for nonsense.
Yeah, okay, cool. But
There's we had a school. I think we had about 6 convicted nonces at our secondary school coming in.
left out.
Yeah, mate, honestly, fucking. It's like just what's the fucking word? Yeah, you're just left out. Yeah, do you know, bitter. Joke was on him. I was having it with the English teacher anyway.
That was a beautiful 12-year-old boy. How fucking dare he? I love asking this question nearer the end. What has been your favourite moment in stage or in comedy in general? And what time did you bomb the hardest?
Right. You know what? I really felt I bombed last week on your show. Like, because it was a new thing for me. I felt like I was massively, again, I take my time in from the crowd that I'm working with and things like that. And like I said, that now I'm really pulling that together now, right? Your show last week was it was a humbler for me. Okay. And again, I wasn't taking it to heart at all, but the comments as well. I've got used to people coming up to me and telling me how funny the stuff I say is. So when you got some people proper slagging you a little bit, it was like a little bit, all right, well, you're not everyone's cup of tea, are you, mate? Right? You know, it was a humbler. Whether they're right in what they're saying or not, that was for me was, I'm going to call that a low, even though it wasn't, because I said I had good feedback from yourself and the other panelists anyway, right?
What do you know about comedy?
Sorry?
The ones who know about comedy.
Well, yeah, there is that. Yeah, you know, again, everyone's entitled to their opinion, but that for me was that I'm going to say up to now that was my low, because I didn't know. I've got the material there, but I didn't know what the fuck I was doing on that camera that night. Do you know what I mean? That is what it is.
I will challenge that. It was a complete learning curve, and it is still a learning curve. We are rectifying that as we speak, and come live September the 1st. Plugging my own show again. It will. There will be an audience. So you will get instant laughter. There will not be dead space.
Look, do you know what? Because of the natural progression of this conversation, this has been a humorous conversation. The timing has come naturally in this one here. Whilst there's no audience, but there's a back and forth with this one there, and there's humor and there's timing in this one here. It's the pressure you put on yourself in a position where you think, I have to be funny now. Yeah.
The spotlight.
Which, yeah, completely. There is no spotlight now. It is just two blokes having a chat, which will go out to a crowd, so to speak, and people will laugh or go, "Oh my god, I can't believe you said that." It'd be one way or the other. So that's what that is. But that, you know, that from on the sit down for stand up last week was that was my let's bring you back down to earth 40. Do you know what I mean? For me, my high was But you know what? Actually, probably was that ultra show I did, because I'd done the comedy boxing. I had a really good reception in that one there. But again, small. I think it was about 100, 120 people in that one there.
Comedy boxing.
The comedy box show, the spirit comedy thing.
Was it comedy boxing? Yeah. Not.
Yeah, but that was good. But the ultra show, there's 400 people there. The videos I've seen of people that took it, again, my jokes were really well received. And to hear that many people roaring and laughing at what I'm saying was a buzz and a half. Like, do you know what I mean? That was like, and it could have gone one way or the other, because I said I'm not for everyone, but it worked for whatever reason. It worked that day. Do you know what I mean? And that's it. And that was a big one for me.
And that was like the starting point. Like, yeah, got this, and then it's just been positive momentum since then. Yeah,
look, I again, the businessman in me, the sportsman in me, I won't just sit there and rest on a laurel. If I'm going to take the material I've got now and I will turn it into a bigger beast. And I've got things to add it, you know, which is why I'm going up to my 25 for that show in December. Yeah. So I've got it all planned. I know how I'm going to do it. Do you know what I mean? And it was each show I do up to them will build up to that, and I will smoke that show. I know I will, but it's only because I'm telling myself I'm going to fucking win at that.
How do you feel your business acumen helps you in comedy from not the on stage perspective, but the off stage perspective?
Repetition. The more I do it, the more I listen to myself speak in the car, the more I do it. It's like if I'm trying to sell something to somebody, I am, like I said, I can't go in there and look at the floor and I won't. I can't do a business meeting over Zoom. Let's say I need to be in front of you. I need to see the whites of your eyes. I want to shake your hand. I want to feel, I want you to feel my breath on you, sort of thing,
Yeah.
when I'm doing a deal. And that's how, kind of like, I'm on that stage when the lights in your eyes, you can't see anyone, but there's 100 people sat in front of you, and you're in front of them. They can see the white of your eyes, and that's how it comes across. It is, and is I won't. Like I said, I won't just sit down on my hands and go, "Oh, I've done this now," because of the buzz I get off of this. For whatever reason, it does give me that adrenaline. It's not letting me get bored of it. Let's put it that way.
I 100% agree. I would add on to that because I've owned sold businesses, done quite well for myself. It is persistence is better than any skill you could have.
Yeah.
Like, and treating it not okay. Whilst it's a creative thing you're doing, you need to treat it still like a business. You need to have it all documented, all files, all evaluating yourself. Do you know what I mean? Like, you need to treat every comedy night, every agent like a potential prospect. You need to be hitting
Which,
about. You
which
need
is which is why my reaction to that bloke that said, "Oh, I might use a couple of those," wasn't "You go fuck yourself, mate," because I don't know who he is really. He could be like somebody that's linked to another like 15 stages somewhere along the way. And I thought, all right, you can have that one for now, but like I said, the eyes are on you, sort of thing.
you're on my radar now.
Yeah, I send there. I've got a little 3 or 4 friends, like real close friends, that I send over new jokes to, and I just ping them to on WhatsApp, and they're like my little qualifiers. Like, if I get a "fuck me 40, you can't say that," it's going in the set. I mean, is brilliant. And again, you end up with the cry laughy face emoji. You're winning. Do you know what I mean? But they're also not afraid to go, "Make that shit."
Yeah.
Don't bother. And I need that.
Well, that's what I'm hoping to do with the sit down for stand up when it goes live in September. It's only people who do 2 minutes now, not 5, and it's basically just jump on and try new material to get instant feedback. So,
Perfect.
but no, it sounds like it's going brilliant. Joe, I'm happy with you. And like I said, the second I saw your stuff, I fell in love with it. So I will ask this final question then, and you can't answer it with "just do it." What advice would you give to somebody thinking about doing comedy for the first time?
Pick your subject matter to suit you. Don't try and be something you're not.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's if you're a conservationist and things like that, don't try and talk about being like the biggest, baddest, polluter in the world, because it ain't gonna suit you, is it? Do you know what I mean? I'm not gonna sit. I wouldn't be able to sit there and I wouldn't be able to sit down and talk to you about football because I know fuck all about it. So I wouldn't, again, pick. It's not even about your audience. Like I said, go in front of any audience you want, but pick your subject matter to suit who you are. You're not there to suit the crowd. You're there to suit yourself. They got to fall in line with you at the end of the day.
Know your niche.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I love that. Paul, man, it's been absolutely brilliant having you on, brother. Thoroughly enjoyed
Thank you
it.
very
And,
much.
hopefully I can get on a bill with you sometime. And, I'm going to watch closely because, I love your material, man. And
Thank you
cheers,
very
everyone,
much, my
guys.
brother.
Thanks for watching.
Cheers. Bye bye.